notification bell because we're going to talk a lot about energy medicine and different frequency technologies. Throughout the holiday season, I'll be doing some live streams. We also have our podcast on Thursday. For many of these things, you can go, let's go ahead and for many of these things, you can go to our events page at geniusbiofeedback.com. We'll go ahead and show that to you. We're definitely going to be having our Thursday podcast with Karen McDonald. We're going to talk about a lot of current events, different things, news that's coming out. We talk a lot about the effects of the jab on Rumble through our podcast, because we don't actually do that to good old YT. So definitely you're going to want to, if you want to get the full pieces of information that we're talking about, the real deal, uncensored, then you'll want to join us at the podcast on Thursday. Now that's at our events page. Let's go ahead and review a few things on the website. The website has a lot of information on it. Let's unpack it a little bit. You can go to our events page and we have all of our events available. So you can see that podcast we're going to be on Thursday, and you can join us on the Zoom, which is the live Zoom where we talk and you can chat and ask questions. It's laid back, it's fun, uncensored, as I mentioned. Okay, you're going to have an opportunity to ask any questions. Did you get libraries that you would like to know more about? So if you had a library that you got, you want to know more about it, you want me to give you my interpretation of it, go through it, you can put that library into the chat, or you have a process, a problem you're trying to solve, a case that I could work out for you, then this would be a great time. You can ask those questions. Features from the new version that you want to know more about, you can definitely ask those questions now. Now, today we do have some Cyber Monday specials. We are carrying over what was really successful, the 40%. We're carrying that over to Cyber Monday. That's 40% off of any of the libraries. A little bit later on this afternoon, we're going to have even more courses on sale. So look for that email. We're going to even have even more courses available at a discount, and we'll have a discount code for that. For right now, you may want to check out our practitioner courses, and I just want to talk about those a little bit because we have not talked about them in a while, and I just want to make sure you know what we're making available for Cyber Monday is the practitioner level courses are all courses that I created as a naturopathic doctor. Now, they do work in conjunction with the Genius, so they work with your Genius because they have libraries that were made especially for the Genius, but they explain the principles that go into different aspects of natural health. So understanding how your thyroid works, how your adrenals work, how your immune system works, what are viruses, how do they proliferate? You can know those things. I had the privilege of going to 4 years of naturopathic medical college, where I had to learn all types of labs and physical exams and all types of health information, anatomy, physiology, labs, lab interpretation, things like that. What I did in these courses is I give you the easy to understand version of what a naturopathic doctor knows. And so it's very easy for any layperson to understand these levels. You do not have to take these levels in order. These levels are created so you can use your Genius better, but a big part of why I created them is because I want you to have the information that I was fortunate enough to gain as a naturopath. I want you to understand your own digestive system. I want you to understand how weight loss, insulin, and blood sugar works. I want you to understand why we get autoimmune diseases, what the tendency is that causes things like molecular mimicry, and the different reasons why people are getting autoimmune disease. We have an epidemic of autoimmune disease. When you understand the basic principles of physiology, you have total empowerment. And so these courses give you full empowerment to understand thyroid conditions, adrenal conditions, bloating, SIBO, gut issues, reflux, diabetes type 1, diabetes type 2, Lyme disease. And so please check out these practitioner courses. They're essentially 50% off for Cyber Monday because I want each and every person to have the opportunity to do these courses. If you do these courses, then you can put that on our practitioner site. We have our practitioner site at geniusbiofeedbackpractitioners.com, and we're listing all of our practitioners. Now they're going to have their own login, so you can update your profile whenever you want to. We will really want to grow that site. We want it to be a great resource. Now people can see the different practitioners all over the world. So You also may want to get the bundle where you get all levels 1 through 8. That's been very, very popular because we discount the whole thing, 1 through 8, even more than the individual levels. And then we also give you an opportunity to get just 3 through 8 in case you've gotten 1 and 2 before. So get the individual levels, get all of them, get 3 through 8, whatever you want. Check it out because these courses are very important for your practice, but they're very important for you and your family. They make a big difference. The thing with biofeedback practice is that it's not just about the frequencies, and that's what I tried to bring out in the practitioner level courses. Oh, got some issues going on here. There we go. All right. I tried to bring that out in the practitioner level courses. Let's see if I screwed up the video. We've got the log. Okay. Yeah, it looks like I'm okay. Let's see if there's, let me just see if I'm okay. I'm doing okay here. Let's see. All right. And all right, fantastic. So I have there's some questions in there. The thing about the courses and biofeedback practice in general that you absolutely need to know is that it's not just biofeedback and the frequencies. If you can understand how the body works and the lifestyle things that we recommend, then your practice is going to be complete. You're going to be able to give a better interpretation of the information, but you're also going to be able to explain lifestyle-wise what people need to change. So definitely check out those practitioner specials. And I'm here in the office all day. So if you want to have a chat, talk to me about the practitioner specials, even just chat, send me a chat message, send me an email. I'll be able to answer you. But definitely check out what we have available for Cyber Monday because they're usually double the price that you're seeing today. And if you need an installment plan, anything that you need, just get in touch. It's just that these particular classes have been so life-changing for the practitioners who have taken them. Their practice has grown by leaps and bounds because they're really able to reach their clients and speak to their clients in ways that they never have before. Okay, so check those out. And then at geniusbiofeedback.com, we still have 40% off all libraries by entering the code CM, like Cyber Monday 40. So if you were away this weekend or you didn't get a chance, you can still use CM 40 for 40% off of any libraries that you want. Just put in the code, as many libraries as you want. It'll take the discount when you check out. So know that that's available. A lot of people have asked about that. A lot of people have appreciated that. They've gotten some new libraries that they're utilizing. And so we want you to know that that is still available. Some people panic because they were away, they were on vacation, they didn't know. Now you know, you still have time. You can go ahead and take that opportunity. Okay, so at our website, I just want you to know there's something really important. If you ever find that you're switching a device and you need an installation link, I want to show you how we have set this up. So you get a new device, maybe you're going to get one for the holidays. The most important thing is to, we're going to go ahead and update this here. The Genius has a new update today. Yes, if you see a new update, you should update right away to it. That means there are bug fixes and things that you want to take advantage of. So you want to update your Genius. Now, you get the new device. It's really important that you log off of the old device. So make sure that you log off. How do you log off? There's a white button at the top left of the Genius when you first go to the user screen. If you click on that, then you will be able to log off. You want to log off that access before you ever log into your new iPad, your new tablet, your new Android, your new Samsung. Make sure you log off first because it tells our servers that you're no longer utilizing that particular access. So that's really, really important. Welcome new users, people who just got their Genius over the weekend. A warm welcome to you and thank you for checking out our weekly training. We're here every single week where you could volunteer to get a scan, ask questions, anything that you want. People have already asked questions. I'm going to answer them. Keep your questions coming. Anything you want to know about the new version, any libraries you want demonstrated, a case that you're trying to solve, this is your time to ask those questions and to be interactive. Now, when you're ready to load the Genius onto your new device, you do not have to send us a support ticket or an email. You can if you want to. We'd love to say hi to you, but you can go right to geniusbiofeedback.com and go to the Learn menu. And when you go to the Learn menu, you want to go to Reinstall Links. So let me show it again. You go to the Learn menu and you drop down to Genius Reinstall Links. And then all the links that you ever need to reload the Genius are right here. So that's just really important. That way, it's the middle of the night, you need help, you could go right here and install it onto any device. So that's just really super important. If you'd like to share the Genius with people, you simply use this link and you go ahead and have them put your name into the area where it says who shared the Genius with you. We still just sell one Genius at a time. I probably know every person who got the Genius over the weekend. And we may have talked to them, visited with them, done a demonstration for them. We know people referred Karen, Kirsty, other, our other wonderful Charnel, other people. We know all the affiliates who send business to us, including yourself. And we thank you with a commission. We appreciate it. So we know if you send somebody our way, have them fill out this form that we're putting into the chat. That's all that you really need to get your commission. So we see that, we identify the person, where'd you come from, how do you know about us? And then we get in touch with you, say you have a commission available, get some paperwork completed, and then we send you your commission. So we really appreciate your referral. This is all you need. Just bookmark this link to make it very easy for you, and you are absolutely ready to roll. So this one happens on the Start Here menu, goes to 14-day free download. And you may want to tell people they can find out the basics here. So this is a really helpful page where people can read all about the Genius and they can learn about it. So it's a great starter videos, our mini course. And when they sign up for the 14 days, one thing that's really, really helpful is that they're getting 14 days of tutorials. They get a new tutorial every day. And so this really, really helps them to learn about the Genius. So that's when they sign up for the 14 days. It says 14-day free download. But immediately when they sign up, we start to send them all types of great material, ebooks, reference guides, screen recordings, everything they need. We know the Genius can be a hard learning experience up front. We've done what we do every day. What we're very busy doing is how do we create educational tools that demystify the Genius, that make it easier for those that want to be a part of this community to utilize it in a way that's accessible to them, no matter what their health background. They don't have any health background. That's absolutely fine. All you need to do is to be able to identify the red and the blue items. The reds and the blues are what is important. And we teach a lot of that in our business launchpad as well. So if you check out our business launchpad, that's a really good course for how do I talk about the Genius. We give you several elevator speeches and things to put on your brochures, copy, marketing, even sample template brochures and business cards that we've done. So check out the business launchpad. All right. Janine says, could you talk about the difference between making a custom playlist, custom libraries, and master branch? Okay, Janine, that sounds good. Sounds good. What is in the pain? What all is in the pain and the bone heal libraries? Okay, we could find out about that. All right, there was a question from Penny. Penny says, I noticed that I'm getting notices each day to update my app. Is Ryan sending these or is it a glitch? So no, it's not a glitch. When Ryan sends, when you see that there's a new version available, that means that it's time to upload it. Now, you know that there were some issues with our new version because of the complexities of it, because it attempted to do so many things in that new update. And so as a result of that, there were many things to begin to work through. And so Ryan has been doing that sort of round the clock with his development team. That's very, very typical in technology to have things that you need to work through. And so that's what Ryan's been very busy doing. So when you see that you need, I'm already worried about this new update. When you see that there are things that you see something that needs to be updated, then you want to automatically do the update. You shouldn't really wait. There shouldn't be any reason that you need to wait to do the update. The reason that they did the update is to correct anything that they found. Now, part of the thing that's going on with the Genius is that it has to play on many disparate platforms. So it needs to play on a regular iPad. It needs to play on an iPad Pro. Ryan he also added in landscape view and in addition to portrait. So he really listened to a lot of people who said they wanted it in landscape, which when they're using their keyboard and they put their device, okay, you have your keyboard, right? You put it right down onto your keyboard case and you hold your device in that landscape mode. And it's like, whoa, well, why doesn't the Genius change into landscape mode? Well, that's a whole programming in and of itself. I mean, that's hundreds of hours of development time to move all the screens from portrait into landscape. And he did it. So now you can use your Genius in landscape mode. Now, there definitely is feedback you want to send to him about that particular experience and the visuals in that. And eventually he's going to update and make it better. So send him feedback so that he knows that. Now, with regard to the Terry says, I have the same question. Are the glitches solved? And yes, many of the glitches are taken care of. So it always gets worked out. I've seen updates now for 10 years. They always get resolved. And then the Genius ends up being significantly better than it ever was before. You don't know what the Genius was like in 2016, how rudimentary it was, and now how complex it is. It truly is rivaling the $20,000 and $30,000 software. I mean, these folks who make these much more expensive systems are getting a true run for their money because Ryan is like catching up with them with a much more low-priced version that doesn't even have a monthly charge to it. Once you own it, you own it. You don't have to pay for it again. Whereas these other mobile applications, they're maybe $150 or $250 a month. And if you stop paying that, it doesn't matter how long you've been paying it for. It could be 2-3 years. Once you stop, then the music stops and the access stops. So this is a little bit to get through, but it's much better. And they've been working through the holiday weekend to resolve all the bugs. And now it's very, very exciting. You're going to get to drive this puppy and really enjoy it and enjoy all the things that it brings with it. Okay. So on Rumble, I can't find the jab info. It's not, we didn't make a title over it. We just talk about general things in our podcast. So look at the last couple of podcasts. If you want to know things particularly about the jab, go to Dr. Jane Ruby on Rumble, Darren. Just look Dr. Jane Ruby if you want some real, or Karen McDonald has been turned me on to a great channel on Rumble called Vaccine Choice Canada, which she is a part of. So check that out on Rumble too. If you want to dive in, you want to sink your teeth in, but we talk about it incidentally during the course of what we're discussing. We might be talking about other topics, so we haven't named it the particular name that you're requesting there. Okay, I had my first real clients yesterday, said, Janine, what fun. That's awesome. Fantastic. Okay, and I would love more insight into the genetics regenerator library. So we did cover this, Missy. If you're in the library discount club, or you may want to join it for a month and check it out. In the Library Discount Club, we did a special in-depth bonus class, as we do each and every month, on the genetics regenerator. But that's a great request, and I can talk about it in this class today. So good selection. I love it. Absolutely fantastic. So let's get some volunteers, somebody who would like to have a scan, and we can demonstrate those libraries as we're going through the scan. Janine says it's getting better and better every day. Absolutely love it. That's great. Thank you so much. Okay, Doug says I've ignored the update messages. So let me explain what an update message gives you. It actually, Brian wants you to update those so that you can get the benefit. Unless you have held back on 16.9.7, we did have some people who have very busy practices hold themselves back to 16.9.7. You can still hang out there for now. You're totally welcome to. But if you did update to the new version at all, then every time you see an update, I did it just right now. It only takes maybe 3 minutes for the update to process. It doesn't log you out anymore. It doesn't make you reload your libraries. You want to do that because it contains all of the bug fixes. So you definitely want to do that. All right. So Missy, absolutely, in the Library Discount Club, look for the class we did on Genetics Regenerator. Fantastic, in depth. You'll get to dive deeper. We're going to cover it today because we want to cover people's new purchases, toys, goodies that they got. We want to talk about them. So if we get a volunteer, somebody who'd like a scan, boy, we're just not getting the volunteers anymore, right? Anybody who's new, if you just got the Genius, if you put your date of birth, we'll give you a free scan. So put your date of birth into the chat. If you would like a scan, we'll need somebody to volunteer to show our Genetics Regenerator and other libraries. So if you'd like to volunteer, go ahead and let us know. Now, another update that Ryan did put in, a sort of a Thanksgiving treat, is he has given us access to both the egg version. He probably should have said egg version. He's got classic and old. I have no idea. Is that like the bottles, the flavors of Coke or something? Anyway, the Aura now has the egg version, which is going to be your first version that comes up. And then you can also revert to the previous version, which he calls the old version. And then the egg version is the classic version. But I think egg version might have described it more appropriately. So you can toggle back between both Auras and see which one you prefer to use. I have 2 programs. Can I update on just one? You're absolutely welcome to. If you want to, you're welcome to do that. Okay, Elaine has volunteered. If anybody else is new to our Genius and Genius community, wants to volunteer, in addition to Elaine, put your date of birth in the chat where it says webinar chat. Go ahead and put your date of birth in there. The old Aura looks a lot different than before and doesn't really seem to match the egg. I mean, I'm with you, Janine. I would send a message to Ryan because seriously, not really sure what's going on there. To me, it looks totally different. I'm not sure because he didn't put the black figure into the Aura. Let's go ahead and look at it in just a moment. But I agree with you. I said that over the stream. I did a Thanksgiving live stream and I'm like, I don't know, this old Aura function does not even look like the old Aura function, but you have to ask him. I'm not sure what's been happening there. And Sue says, why is uterus not included in the organ? Oh, good Lord. Let's go ahead and check the organ. I do think that organ is kind of random. Like, I think you could probably find a lot of organs that are not. So Sue, what I challenge you to do is go to Wikipedia or go to an anatomy book and look up every organ in the body. I would say there's more than just uterus missing. So organs has liver, eyes are an organ. Yeah, I guess they are. Kidneys, spleen, bladder, skin. That's the largest organ in the body, right? Brain, heart, lungs, gallbladder, pancreas, and stomach. I would absolutely say there's probably another 20 organs that are missing. So go ahead and look up all the organs and send Ryan a list and say, hey, Ryan, you forgot a few organs here. And let him know. Look, he's doing his best. He's not a medical doctor. He hasn't really asked for medical consult in a lot of these, as far as I can tell. So definitely if he's missing something, let him know. I'm sure he'll be happy to hear it. Sarah has volunteered. Fantastic. Carol says, since the update, the percentages at the bottom have been erratic and tend to go lower as opposed to going up most of the time. Do you know if there's a particular reason for this? Carol, when I ask Ryan questions like this, his unequivocal answer without a doubt is nothing has changed. And he often gets rather perplexed. I don't know if it's that we're seeing different things. You can report it to him. There's nothing that's changed inherently in the algorithm. So there's nothing really that would have made that change, whether we're seeing it more, seeing it less. Now, percentages do go down when people have hit their upper limit. One comment I could make is that it does seem to be rectifying faster in general. Now, that part could come from the fact that Ryan has worked extensively. I don't even think he talked about it enough in the event of the year, which you can see that interview on my YouTube channel or on our blog, where we talked to Ryan, the first guest on the first day. But I don't even think he really sung his praises enough, is that he really is working very, very hard on the voice engine. And between the last version and this version, the listening and analytical ability of the voice engine has changed. And so it is improved greatly, which means the accuracy of the reds and the blues and the items that are selected has improved markedly. Perhaps that is leading to a faster uptick in the rectification. I noticed that the rectifications are faster. I noticed that they're higher in score over a general trend. Ryan has not said anything else has changed about the algorithm. So what I think may be happening is you're getting to rectification faster, over 40%, and you don't really need to keep balancing after that. That's you're done. So you should move on to either a rescan or get other items in. And when it goes down, it's also just, the innate intelligence telling us, well, this set of frequencies, we don't really need this particular set of frequencies at this time. In other words, we're done with that particular combination of frequencies. All right, let's see. You guys have a lot to say here as I've been talking. Could it simply be the energies at play? Just checking if anybody else is experiencing this. So I gave you my perspective. I notice that happens if I have more than 90 things in the main tray, says Dr. Terry. I agree on the egg aura and the original, trying to figure out what they are both saying. I'm so glad we have the original back, so I'm super happy, says Margaret. Doug, again, do I have to wait for an update message to update? No, you do not. But usually you get an update version. If you have Android, it's very easy. You simply go to your settings and you put it on auto update. You can probably do it on Apple as well. I'm not really clear on exactly how to do it, but you could just Google, how do I put auto update on my Apple for my particular app? And you could do it that way. But on Apple, I know that we see messages that say, hey, there's a new one available. Do you want to update or do you want to wait? You're welcome to do either one that you feel comfortable with. My recommendation at this point is that you do update because the bugs have been resolved sort of overnight or in the recent past. You want to take advantage of any of those improvements. Yeah, I'm still on 16.9.7. So stick with that, Doug, especially if you have a busy practice. You're maybe just wait a little bit longer. My feeling is we're 95% there with the bug fixes. So eventually, maybe you have a second device or something that you utilize. I don't know. You're going to want to take that big plunge into the water and you're going to want to completely update to the new version and kind of cross over that Rubicon into our new world. Now it's safe to jump into the water. Before, 2 weeks ago, we were really recommending that people hold themselves back. If they have a busy practice, they're very distressed by glitches. Now he's done enough work on it where you can jump in the water and enjoy all the features of our new version, which we really want you to be able to do. That's something that we obviously, a lot of money went into the development of the new version for a reason. We want you to be able to enjoy it and get all the benefits from it. And it's really important that eventually everybody be on the same version. It will just help everybody, and it'll help us with technical support and things like that. All right, we'll work with Elaine in just a moment here. The main reason I'm asking about the uterus is that many women experience a uterine prolapse after childbirth, as well as senior women who lose muscle tone. Well, we have lots of libraries for things like that. So you should look up the endocrine regeneration, the women's hormones. We have women's reproductive system. So Sue, if you're confused or if you need libraries, and this applies to everyone, if you have a particular condition that you need help with, please contact us. You may not be seeing the library that we already have for that particular condition that we could provide for you. So please email us your question. You're going to need more than just the uterus. You're going to need a whole bunch of other frequencies that could help with the prolapse and the other issues. So please send me a message so we can help you with that. What is the difference between the combined membership of business and discount? Do we save money on the combo? Yes, you do. So the library discount club and business membership are very, very popular with our Genius community. The library discount club, what it does is it gets you 20% off all libraries at all time. And we even gave the additional, if you could have gotten 40% off, we actually gave on top of that the additional 20% to all of our library discount club members for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So they get an additional discount. Every month you get a $97 coupon that's just $97 off of everything. You get 20% off all the other libraries, and you get a free curated library. For example, this month we did a library inspired by German new medicine, which we're going to be doing a bonus class. And last month we did methylation, MTHFR, and all of the genetic issues that go on the chromosomes about how to balance them. We did a class on that. And then you get access to the class in our learning portal on an ongoing basis. So you can watch all the past bonus classes on all of those libraries. So that's the library discount club, 20% off, $97 coupon, curated library, free bonus class in our library discount club. And then we created the business membership as a way to coach people on a regular basis in their business. You get free private coaching. You get to come to our calls and talk about your business. We have 3 calls a month. We also have all the training that we've ever done recorded in our learning portal. So we have over 50 different modules that you can watch in the business membership. So each one of those members, and you also get a library actually every month that you can use in your business with the business membership. Now, the business membership is $47 a month on its own, and our library discount club is $47 a month. What we did is we combined both of those memberships. Instead of it being $94 a month, we combined it for $77. So it's almost $20 less. So you can get the premium combo membership for $77. You can get both. Now, none of these memberships require you to be a member for any more than you want to be a member. You can come, you can leave, you can cancel at any time. You simply send us an email. We're happy to process, well, we're sorry to see you go, but we're happy to process your membership cancellation, whatever you want to. We welcome you back into the fold when you want to come back. We're very easy to work with. We just want you to have fun, get libraries that you want along the way, enjoy learning about special libraries that we've curated for you, or come into the business membership and let us help you to get your business off the ground. We want as many practitioners out there to be as successful as possible. And that's what you get with the business membership. You get support, private coaching, education, get me. We're on the call talking about issues in your business 3 weeks out of the month, 3 calls out of the month. So that's what the clubs are about. And absolutely would love to have you. You could try them out for a month, see if you like them. Then if you don't like them, you can cancel. If you love them, you can stick with them. It's just totally up to you. All right. Thank you for asking that, Margaret. I appreciate it. Okay. And so Margaret, as some other information, she says you can put GV20, governing vessel 20, in your tray for prolapse. It pulls the energy up for all prolapse. That's really interesting. I'll have to read more about that in some Chinese medicine references. Ayana says, for the practitioner certification training, can I get a specific course or does it have to be in order? That's a very good question. So I said it before, but I want to say it again, that on these practitioner trainings, what I did in particular for this Cyber Monday is I sort of renamed the classes so you would know exactly what they cover. Our practitioner courses are in levels, but they are not required. There are no prerequisites. So take a course just because you're interested in the topic. That is perfectly okay. If you need installments for a combination of the courses, you want to take 4, 5, and 6, and it's like, hey, can I have some installments? Just send me a message, Ariel at geniusbiofeedback.com. We're happy to set that up for you. They are 50% off today for Cyber Monday. But if you find a topic you like, you could take any topic at any time. You're not required. There's no learning that happened in the previous one that you would be required to know. If you're a practitioner, you want to be a practitioner, we just do recommend absolutely take level 1, because level 1 is all about the strategies and protocols of practice. So it's really going to give you a solid footing about how to start your practice and how to be competent in talking about the genius. If you're interested in health topics, weight loss, hormones, hormonal balancing, thyroid, adrenal health, Lyme disease, chronic infections, how does your immune system work? How does blood sugar work in the body? What about heart health? It's really interesting. The heart is not just a pump. The heart is an energetic vortex, and we have these vortices of moving energy and throughout the circulatory system all over the body. And I explained that in the course on blood pressure, cholesterol, and heart wellness. We're way more energy than we realize. And if we were simply like depending on the pressure, a capacity of the heart, it would never be able to reach the tiny capillaries. It's a much more robust, energetic system of vortices, and which Da Vinci really knew about this, push the blood all over the body in a very powerful way. We talk about that in that course, blood pressure, cholesterol, and heart wellness, but we also talk about how dangerous blood pressure and cholesterol medications are and how they don't solve the problem. And why do people get high blood pressure? It has a lot to do with their kidney health. Why do they get cholesterol issues? That has a lot to do with their liver health. You want to really know these key principles when you're sitting in front of your genius and you're looking at these issues for someone. You can say, I'm not a doctor, but I learned these wellness principles. I actually know how the body works. And so what I want to recommend is that you research this, or you go see this chiropractor, or you go see this naturopath, because you understand, and also helps you to know which libraries to put into the tray. Because you understand, to work on blood pressure, you probably want to work with kidney libraries. You want to work with the cholesterol, you want to work with liver libraries and work on the digestion. So that's kind of the information that you get in these courses. It's like the little secrets behind how to really be successful is to know just not the name. Okay, it's the name of the disease, it's Hashimoto, so I put the Hashimoto's libraries in and then I push the button. No, you start to know, this is the thyroid and this is the autoimmune condition. And so I'm going to do this for autoimmunity and I'm going to do this to support this. And you're just so much more knowledgeable and you're so much more confident, and you're going to get a lot better results. That's why we took the time. Each one of these courses has 4 classes. The classes are each 60 to 90 minutes. We actually had bonus classes where I demonstrated the libraries on our live class at the time. And then all the courses come with their own libraries that are exclusive to the course, that go with the course. And then they all have guides and explanations. So it was a very, very thorough program. You may want to get all of them wrapped up together. You may want to get one of them, completely up to you. But if you've ever had a thirst for learning natural health, that is why I created these courses, to take the privileges that I had as a naturopathic physician, as getting a 4-year medical degree. And hey, let's not make it mysterious. Let's break it down. Every single one of you have the intelligence to know this information. You just haven't been given the information. And trying to glean the information off the internet today is nearly impossible, because we're overloaded, and then they try to sell you something. This is just the facts, ma'am. I want to know the information. Please just give me the information that I need to know in the easiest language to understand. That's what we were able to perform and do in these particular courses. And we have a lot of people who've been able to make real strides in their practice from knowing this information. So Ayana, I hope I answered your question. And then I bought the Cell Salt library. Is there a guide that tells you what they do? We have guides for probably like 80% of the libraries at this point. We might have a guide. Lori, go ahead and just send me a message on that one. But there's so many references. If you just Google cell salts, you're instantly going to get several free guides online. So there are only 12 shoes or cell salts. So you can get all of the information instantaneously. Yes, the practitioner certification. These are practitioner certification courses, levels 1 through 8. And is anyone having success with the Genius using the Android version? I don't know about that. Okay, so let's work on this case. We had a volunteer, which was Elaine. So Elaine, thank you for volunteering. And let's see if we can get Elaine on the webinar here, if we can either talk with her or meet with her. So Elaine, maybe we can just open up your voice for now, make it super easy for you. And there she is. Okay. Elaine, can you hear me? Okay, Elaine, can you hear me? If not, then we're just going to go to the next person, but thank you for volunteering. Really appreciate it. Okay, Elaine, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, it's wonderful.
Well, let's go ahead and what would you like to work on today? What should we focus on for you?
Primarily heart.
Okay, and what particularly are we talking? Circulation, opening up the vessels? What in particular
Vessel,
about the heart?
the vessels.
Okay, let's go ahead, and I have my handy dandy iPad right here. Let's go ahead and have you say your name and then the AEIOU. I will start recording in 3, 2, 1. I'm recording.
Elaine Albright, AEIOU, 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 AEIOU.
Perfect. Perfect, Elaine. You got it. You're perfect. All right. So using your genius, are you doing okay with all of your genius work these days?
Progressing.
That's wonderful. Good for you. You've come a very long way and you should be complimented for that.
Still have a problem with memory, but that's okay.
You're doing good though. I love that you just keep coming back, which is fantastic. It's half the battle there. Elaine, I'm going to let you sit back and enjoy the show. So I'm going to mute you here. I'm going to work on you. And thank you very much for volunteering today.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Elaine is one of our most dedicated students. She's amazing. And she's come a really long way in learning how to utilize her genius. So big kudos to her. Anybody can learn this. And we try to make it as accessible as possible. But we want to work with anybody who has the gumption, the desire. Anybody could do it. In fact, there should be so much more equilibration in healthcare that people should understand this is something they should be able to do at home for their families. Nature cure, learning how to use herbs, learning how to use things from the earth, learning how to use water, hydrotherapy, learning how to use frequency, have a bioenergetic device at home that they can use every day for themselves and their family. And even if they want to, make a business out of it. So we just recorded Elaine's voice just to make it easier for her. Just a picture for now. Voice analysis seemed to go really well. There was an issue with it integrating with the Zoom, and I have not had a chance to find out if that has been cleared up. So when we first look at something, a client going on with them, we're going to look at that general overview. We're going to look at system overview for now. Let's go ahead and look at both of the aura functions. So let's go ahead and look at the classic one. Who knows? Which is the egg version. So let's go ahead and look at the egg version of the aura and see what we see here. So the things that are closer to the inside are of more prioritization. So let's go ahead. It seems like a really long time for the aura for some reason, but just a few seconds seems like really long these days. So this is really interesting. It's kind of like I'd say it's closest to yellow, but isn't quite a bright yellow. So that's more of a weaker vitality, a weaker vital force. So we want to work on that. So you'd really look at those Chinese meridians a lot for her, especially the kidney meridians, because we're seeing like weakness, not as much vitality as we'd like to see, probably kidney yin deficiency. So then we go to the next outer ring. And let me just see if I can get in spotlight here so you can see this a little bit better. Let's go there. Okay. So, right. So we looked at this inner part. So that working on just the general vitality, maybe even conception vessel we'll look at. Then we're going to the outer ring. This is a beautiful pink color, very high crown chakra, light energy. I always sense, Elaine, you have a very good sense of humor. So kind of a lightness here. Now there is this kind of a dark ring in between there's like this dark ring in between that kind of gold yellow color and the pink, which is interesting. And there's also just a piece missing right here. So this ring is not complete. So again, I think this is what Karen McDonald, I think what she talked about, energy leaking from the system a little bit. You see how this is not crisp and clear right here? And we've got that pattern sort of continuing up. So why are we leaking energy? This could be because we're just not getting good sleep. because the kidneys, this could all center around the kidneys because we're not able to hold the energy in. So you just think even like, it's not in this case, but like a leaky bladder, or also a kidney meridian quirk is not able to keep secrets, not able to hold boundaries, not able to hold things in. This is like a Chinese medicine thing. So think about boundaries, but also sort of about keeping things whole, keeping things in, keeping things contained. So that's also sort of that kidney meridian energy. We've got some beautiful heart energy, some beautiful fourth chakra energy. She talked about the heart. This looks actually very, very bright, but you see it is still surrounded by this dark energy, which could be stagnation. It could be the vessels that need to be open. So in general, there's sort of a blurriness to this, right? It's not as crisp and clean as we'd like it to be. Let's see if we can see any of the pictures of the past auras to get a sense more of this crispness that we're looking for. Now, this is a little bit better. Do you see how there is still that fuzziness at the top, but there's a little bit more completion. There's a little bit more vitality in this one. Let's just compare it to the other one. You see the fuzziness and the darkness in this one. So there was a stronger vital force coming through in the other one. Now let's go ahead. We'll do the old aura. Let's go ahead and see anything that we learned from this one. I expect it to spin, right? And so we're waiting for it, but it's just like right there. This aura does not remind me of the previous aura whatsoever, except it does remind me of the Android version. Does anybody resonate with that or recognize that? It reminds me of the Android version of the previous aura, but it doesn't remind me of the Apple version of the previous aura, if anybody knows anything about that. So I agree with a comment that was said in the beginning of our class today, which said, I don't see any correlation between one aura, the egg aura, and then the old one, right? It seems there's like totally two different worlds. So, but one thing we do see in this particular aura is, right, because we used to see all of the vertical lines going across. We used to see the horizontal lines, and then the vertical lines would go up and down. This doesn't look anything like it now that I'm remembering clearly what it looked like, but is very reminiscent of what we used to see on Android, which was very different between Android and Apple, if you didn't know that historically. Anyway, in this one, we for sure see liver issues. So we definitely see liver gallbladder. My dear Elaine, have you ever done a castor oil pack? If I were you, I would become a student of Edgar Cayce, castor oil and castor oil packs. I'd watch every YouTube video about castor oil packs, about how to do it. What's the best way? How do I get that wool flannel? Put the castor oil in it, soak it, put it on my abdomen, put it on over my liver area, and try doing that maybe for 14 to 21 nights in a row. Learn how to do it. Hot water bottle, like that better than electric heating pad, because I think that will be life-changing. And everything that has to do with the digestion is still related to everything else, still related to circulation, still related to heart, still related to the brain. So I would really, really look at the possibility of that, because I just see that within the aura. What in the world now am I supposed to make of all these other things? I don't know. So this is supposed to mean something. 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 What it means, I would have to sit down and really, really think about it. So I'll have to look at these auras to really, but I don't think this is the old aura. I think this is a new version of the aura that looks like the old aura. Oh my goodness. Let's go back actually to the original egg version, and let's just go ahead and memorialize that for now, because we're going to use that for, I guess we'll use both for our comparison, see what happens. Okay, so let's go ahead now and let's look at the system overview. Now, just something I don't usually focus on very much, which is that it does prioritize body, biofield, and mind. So Elaine, your mind looks pretty calm today. Like your mind is the last thing that the innate intelligence is focusing on. That could be really good. It means you have a nice, calm, balanced mind. But the first thing it's bringing up there is chemical sensitivities. So some type of maybe a past chemical exposure tells us something with the glands, spinal energy. And then we can scroll down here. We see maybe digestion, and also recommending some herbs. So we can look at those. it's saying solfeggio tones. Oh, I forgot let me just talk about this function, which actually I didn't really want to do this. Let me clear that out. So there is a new function. I don't actually in philosophy agree with this particular function. So you'll have to give the developer your own feedback. So let me explain what happens. When you grab this red item, I meant to just grab the singular frequency on its own, and it's not going to happen anymore. When I grab this, it's going to bring all of the items in chemical sensitivity into the tray. So what I said to the developer is, that doesn't make sense. What we want to do, let me make sure I'm not speaking out of my butt here. So let me just make sure that in fact that he hasn't done it the way that I recommended. So let me just count the items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's like 13 items. Okay, so now I can explain it properly. What I said to him was, when you grab chemical sensitivities, it should automatically grab all the reds and all the blues into the tray. Well, you could argue that you could do that through the bulk drag function, and that certainly would be a legitimate, but I don't see any reason why you would take chemical sensitivities and put all the items into the tray, because all the items are not red and blue. They're like red, yellow, green, and blue, which suggests that some of them are not as important as the ones in red and blue. But he made the decision to actually, when you drag, you're going to put all the items into the tray. Let's watch it again. So there's 13 items in chemical sensitivities. When I put my finger on it, I drag it in here, it's going to have all of them appear. Now, you may find this useful for your practice. So if you like it, then kudos, that's awesome. But I think the better function is the reds and the blues go into the tray when you drag this, or some type of a composite frequency that could clear chemical sensitivities overall. That would be another thing that would make sense, but not putting them all into the tray. But anyway, that's what we have there. So I'm actually not going to put that into the tray because I don't think that makes a lot of sense. So let's look at this again. So it tells us chemical sensitivities. So then we would just add our reds, and there are no blues, but we could hand or manually add, oh, why does this happen? The touch sensitivity on Entangled Insights is way, way too touch sensitive. That could be another thing that maybe somebody could tell him. So anyway, so we could add digestion, and we could also add this other one, which is cigarette smoke. I don't know, do you ever smoke, or did you know somebody who smoked? Let us know. So I would choose things that are under 200 as well. Then we have glands. So it says the pineal gland, that would be helping with the sleep. This is another thing that'd be good to ask the developer about. We're having a big powwow here. I don't know why gonads and ovaries and testes are included. So you could ask them that. Why in the female version do we have ovaries and testes and gonads? I guess gonads is supposed to cover both of the reproductive organs, male and female. Obviously ovaries and testes. So write a message and ask them, well, gosh, golly, gee willikers, like, why do you have these in there? They're a bit confusing. Not for me, maybe as a practitioner, but they sure are confusing for my client that isn't really sure why these other organs or glands are actually in here. So that could be something to ask him. Spinal energy. Okay, spinal energy. We can actually use this little toggle switch right here to go from top to bottom. So it tells us L2, so there's a lumbar vertebra. And we can use our desk reference success cards. Anybody who got the upgraded or higher will get these. If you moved into a higher package, you moved from starter complete to upgrade, you'll get these. We send them out to you. And so in this chart, the reason the success cards are so helpful is they help you to understand the different spinal energies. And I can just get these to cooperate with me, of course. And so L2 has to do with the abdomen and the thigh, and actually has to do with varicose veins and leg pain or cramps. And it's about releasing old hurts, releasing old wounds, just letting them go. And then we go down here with thoracic 8, L4, cervical 2, and thoracic 11. Let's go ahead and check thoracic 8. So I'm just going to go to these cards here. Thoracic 8 has to do with the spleen, immune system issues, chronic viruses, and chronic infections. the emotional connection is releasing any tendency to self-sabotage, not digesting events in life long enough to learn from them. So that's what that is about. So you can read to your client the emotional connection, and then that might make you choose some other frequencies as well, or some other libraries as well. Let's go ahead to some of your comments and questions. We're going to go down here, see if there's any other reds or blues. We've got the solfeggio tones. Let's go ahead and get transformation and miracles in there. It's interesting that not a lot of other things came up. While I'm talking, let's go ahead and let's go to our general overview and see what general overview brings us here. And Ariel, can you please link the post to day 1 of the summit? Well, the summit is available on the blog. So if you go to geniusbiofeedback.com, go to learn, and then the blog, and you're going to find all 3 are actually posted on the website. So if you go there and you go to learn and you go to blog, you're going to see that all 3 days are posted handily. You're going to love it that we did it. We didn't forget, and we just make sure that we memorialized it and recorded it properly so it could be easily found by people. So it's on the blog. The blog is a great resource for the podcast, for different screen recordings, education that we've done. So, check out the blog often. It's usually where you're going to find the resources that you want. So Ariel, this one's for you. I'm sending you the link right in the chat here so that you can see it. Let's go ahead and begin this analysis here. Got a whole bunch of questions. Your participation today is fantastic. I know there's Q&A, some questions too. So let's just see if we've got this here. Let's go ahead. Reds and blues only would be perfect. So Dr. Terry, let Mr. Ryan Williams know your opinion. Entangled Insights is driving me nuts. Janine, please also look. I know that I'm putting you out there to give you your marching orders to kind of go out there and sort of, overwhelm him a little bit. But these are good feedback pieces of information that he really appreciates. And Ryan is a developer, but he's not a practitioner right now. He's not out there boots on the ground every day like you are. So you have to tell him, please, because he doesn't listen to me anymore, because it'll just sound like this repeating, nagging voice in his head. And it's really important that the community communicate to him. And that's why I encourage you to do that, to email him and tell him exactly what your feedback, very nicely. Just say, hey, I'll often try to say, gosh, you're doing such a great job. The friendly sandwich. Have you ever heard of that one? I know you're doing a wonderful job. I just wanted to mention this thing that I think would make the program so much better. When I tap on any category, it goes right to Entangled Insights. And there's a delay in the analysis of Entangled Insights now. And so then I have to wait, and my client is waiting. So please either make the touch sensitivity of Entangled Insights better, or reduce the delay time when I tap on a frequency accidentally, that I don't have to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. In Entangled Insights, that's not fair. But again, I want to compliment you on the wonderful job and all the time. You get the idea. Okay, fantastic. All right, so Karen says it covers intragendered people. So that's handy, but I think for most people, they get confused. All right, so yes, you can send an email to rw@insighthealthapps.com. And I know he's made so many changes that are related to your feedback. So your feedback is extremely important. Now we're going to cover what's coming up in this general overview in just a moment. Okay, so can you please post a link to day 1? We just did that. When I run libraries on myself, often animal-related libraries come up in reds and blues, even though I have no pets. That is confusing to me. But if you search within the libraries that come up on the animal libraries, there often is something relevant for you. So I think we're going to run a little bit over time today. We're going to talk a little bit more past the hour. If you need to jump off, this is being recorded, is being live streamed to YouTube. You can jump back on and watch it later, but I want to just go a little bit extra time today just to talk about a few things that are really important. What you could do, Doug, is you could create a profile or you could run a master branch. And so your master branch that you create, that you run, includes everything except the animal libraries. So that would be one thing. I could show you how to do that. We have videos on my YouTube channel about how to create a master branch. Let's go ahead and let's just go to custom libraries for a moment. I'll let it scan while I'm continuing to answer these questions. And I'll tell you, we'll just look at her scores for animals, and you'd find something in the frequency that would be relevant for that person. But the other thing that you can do is you just ignore it. You just take it out and ignore it and go to the next piece of information. But if it comes up that much for you, I don't know, maybe it's telling you to get a dog. Maybe you have a dog deficiency or a cat deficiency. Okay. Okay. So I've actually had 2 clients born with both sets of gonads. So Margaret, if you think it's a good idea to keep the sort of the intersex nature of that, then fantastic. You could let Ryan know that as well, or you think it's really, really cool. It is confusing to most people, but no worries whatsoever. It's completely what you give him feedback, and it's what he can figure it out from there. All right, dragging all the items into the main whole tray allows progressive insights to prioritize within itself. Some practitioners work this way. I don't disagree with that, Barbara, but you're sort of defeating the first. I've referred to that many, many times on many occasions, but I think you're missing the point. The point is it's actually a further refinement. So you take out the rough edges in the general overview. Let's go back to that for a moment. So in the system overview, not the general overview, in the system overview, you're going to pull in all your reds and blues. You're like distilling. You're picking and choosing and sort of going in. So you've only got reds and blues going into your progressive insights. Let's just take this as an example. If we just use these, then you refine these 14 items, which are of the red and blue variety, which you know are prioritization in progressive insights. However, if you like to work that way, you just want to take all your reds and blues into progressive insights, you're sort of negating any efficacy or relevance to the first part of the program. But you're absolutely welcome to do that. Both Mariah and myself have always said the community will ultimately decide how they want to work with the program. But I want to make our general audience aware that it's sort of negating. You're in the first part, you're sort of roughing it out. Okay, you're picking up those reds and blues from all different categories. And then you're taking those reds and blues, which we know to be relevant, and you're further refining them in progressive insights in a sort of an 80-20 sort of capacity, where you're saying, I know that 20% of these libraries or frequencies are going to get about 80% of the job done. So I want to be elegant and sort of discriminating in what I'm choosing and just run those high items, if that's the way that you choose to balance. But you can do it that way too. And it's good feedback. It's good information. In the general overview, in the update, I don't see that. Dr. Terry, I'm not sure what you're asking. So if you could clarify that a little bit more, I'd be happy to answer your question. I have the newest version of the Genius. Jing, if that's an issue or something, a bug, just report it to Ryan. There's actually no reason to report it to me at this point. Just go ahead and report it to Ryan. Yes, there is. All right, let's keep going here. All right, she's talking about yoni pearls. Can we Google more information on pearls? Maybe, Karen, it's okay if you do, but maybe not during class. Please don't confuse people with other apps, with other technologies, with other interventions. If possible in the chat, I'd be happy to talk about them on Thursday. But during Genius time, let's keep it to the Genius, because there's a lot of confusion just about the Genius. So I'd appreciate it if you can just sort of keep it to the Genius during our Genius hour. And you are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for all you do. Is there a handout for the gene keys? Go ahead and contact us, Val, and we'll be happy to get you that. It should have been in the product, but I think we just added it to the product so we can get you the guide to the gene keys. What about regular practitioner certification? Yes, regular practitioner certification, it would be like practitioner level 1, Nancy. So just go to the practitioner levels that are available and pick up number 1. That would be the best one to get started. So practitioner levels, all of this is up to 50% off today for Cyber Monday. It's a great time. They're going to go back to like from $397 to $797 very soon. So get it now, so I don't have to get one of those emails that are just like, oh my gosh, I should have gotten it, was $397 on sale. Now it's back up to $800. So get it now while the getting's good. And that's practitioner level 1 is probably the one that you want. All right. Okay, fantastic. Are the gene keys related to the human design? Yes, they are. Okay, let's go back to our system overview. So I think Karen was explaining to people, which is awesome. Thank you so much, to how to get there. And so what you do is that you simply go to, let's go ahead and grab this. We'll probably go to about 15 minutes past the hour if you're wondering how long we're going to go. Just stretching it out just a little bit here just to cover a little bit more ground. Okay, this should not do another scan. So that's something that is still a problem. It should not do a second scan. You can let Ryan know, as long as you're emailing him anyway, that the most recent version is causing a second scan and general overview. That will be fixed though. Okay, what it probably did is it probably went to a deeper level. So let's look at this anyway. Now, remember I talked about anything that has to do with vessel or heart, having to do with the kidney, especially related to blood pressure. So it tells us parsley. I remember I had a very, very obese woman come into my practice, and her blood pressure was like, she didn't believe in medical intervention, but she believed in natural intervention. She would not go to a medical doctor. She would only go to a naturopath. And so I said, my goodness, do you know what your blood pressure is? Because she was worried about it. And she said her head was pounding. And her blood pressure, when I took it in the office, was like 200 over 120. It was so frightening. And I remember I just gave her some herbs like parsley, dandelion, a couple of other diuretics that we do. Burdock, I think, was one of them. And I called her about 72 hours later, and she was like, Dr. Ariel, you're not going to believe what happened. My head stopped pounding for the first time in 3 months. It was the first time as like being out as a doctor. Like, it was my first year really in practice that I was like, man, this natural stuff really, really works. And so herbs that help the kidneys can really help to regulate blood pressure, because kidneys regulate the fluid in the body, and the fluid is related to the pressure, or what we call the peripheral resistance in the body. Tells us about a no-soda infection, Candida plus, breathing becoming easier. Now this is a note for Doug. So Doug, do you see how it says respiratory syncytial virus harmonizing frequencies? So she doesn't have RSV as far as I know, just like you don't have a dog or a cat, but there might be something going on with her lungs that's on a chronic basis. So this frequency can open up the lungs. So there may be something in those animal frequencies. Now, certainly it might be like eat rabbit. So you shouldn't eat rabbit, but it's probably something in there about minerals that could be very relevant. All right. So astrozyme, an enzyme, riboflavin, boundless joy, the brachial plexus. The brachial plexus is the shoulder. A really important thing. We haven't talked as much about structure, as this would be a great topic for us to open up and talk about in our class, and maybe even have an actual sort of more formalized class on it. Oh gosh, is everything going to be 776 in this? Yeah, I know. It looks like it's actually the correct things. One thing to remember, structure informs function. Structure informs function. Now think about that. If your spine, if you're hunched over, if there's something in the spine that isn't working, there's something in the ligaments, the joints that isn't working, that affects the function of the organs and the glands. And so it's so important to consider if you have like a, brachial plexus was coming up for her. So there might be something in the shoulder, and that could be affecting, maybe that's affecting her ability to get flow or blood flow into the brain. So structure informs function. That's why yoga and stretching and anything that moves the body is incredibly important. So be grounded and focused, living in the present moment. Intestinal inflammation, ferrum phos, a cell salt, hard, dry cough with a fever. This could be something from the past. Walk 1 hour per day. Elaine, are you exercising? Are you getting out? Are you able to move around at all? You might be limited. Maybe right now there might be something limiting that movement. Manifest your dreams. Natrum muriaticum. Now it does say that this is a lupus solution, but she might just need this remedy, Nat Mura, overall. A color, some chromotherapy, color therapy, dark brown. That's a frequency that her body's calling out for. It almost reminds me a little bit of what the central egg looked like. I also allow myself to grieve and feel my emotions. Kidney repair and proper fluid balance. This is something I just talked about. And so getting that proper fluid balance in the body, very, very important. Clearing hypoxia. Now, again, this is related to toe fungus, because if you don't get flow into the body, whenever you see somebody with spider veins, toe fungus, petechiae, redness. You can tell a lot by the skin. This is often a sign that they're not getting proper circulation to the peripheral body, to the legs or to the feet. And so you can see that. And so, but see, it's for toenail fungus. Now she's going to say, well, I don't have toe fungus. But what she needed was this 727 hertz to clear hypoxia. So often that overarching library, you can look at it, you can still get benefit, even if the library itself, she doesn't have lupus, that doesn't apply. I think you all kind of understand that. Now, one of my favorite features here is the top 50. Let's go ahead and grab the top 50 red. Let's go ahead and grab the bottom 50. And then let's just, let's see, we're going to run into maybe a little bit more than I want to in terms of time. Oh, geez, why isn't this working? I'm trying to exit out here. So you can't exit out unless you do another scan. I don't know. Let's go ahead and just go with what comes up here at the highest level. Kidney repair and proper fluid balance. Isn't that amazing? I really like this general overview. We have a lot that we can criticize about the thing. I already talked about all of that. Let me praise some things. That general overview, fantastic. It's really going to help us to get to root cause. One of the most difficult things to do as a healer is to sift and sort through the unimportant information and then rise up to the level of the really important information. There's something called the Pareto's principle. It's 80-20. I want you to read up on what 80-20 means. 20% of the people in an office get 80% of the work done. 20% of the crops actually produce 80% of the, the overall harvest or whatever the outcome. There's an 80-20 rule that applies everywhere during your day. Of all the things that you need to do today, and you look at your to-do list, there's actually 20% of the things that you made a list that you need to do. 20% of those things on the list are the most important, and they're going to give you 80% of the outcome. They're going to give you 80% of the impact. Take that principle and put it into your frequencies. There's actually sort of 20% of the frequencies, this would be like a little bit more, but 20% is going to give you 80% of the outcome. So I'm always just sort of discriminating. I want to go less is more. I'm just going to choose these frequencies and allow the innate intelligence to just focus on these frequencies. And then I look at the very, very top frequencies because they're really informing you the essence of the person at this time, the things you most need to know. She needs to get some greens, something Karen McDonald's always talking about, alkalizing. Elaine, go to suedehills.com. It's SUEDE hills.com. Oh, no. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap up the webinar. You probably can hear my voice. My computer just crashed. I'm going to wrap everything up for today. I'm not going to log back in, but we're going to just end it here. Thank you, everyone. Well, I'm probably going to have to log back in anyway to end it. Thank you, everyone, for being part of our class today. I'm going to
Thank you, Ariel.
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you so much, everybody.
I have one question. Can you drink too much water?
Go right ahead. Say that again.
Can you drink too much water?
How much water do you drink?
A lot. Let's see, 16, probably, I don't know, 16 ounces, 6 glasses of 16 ounces, something like that a day, or maybe more. Computer probably. Okay.
Okay, guys, you guys are still there. That's really awesome. Okay, we've got a little secret meeting. So, all right, Elaine, you're still there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, wow, you stuck in there. I love it. All right, so how many glasses of water do you drink per day?
Uh, Probably, I'm thinking, I don't have a calculator. Uh, Probably 6 to 8 16-ounce glasses of water.
Okay, well, and that's pretty good. So, but why are you asking the question? Is because you still have high blood pressure?
Well, high blood pressure, plus I've got leaky bladder.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think the issue, whenever you do every single day, it's probably not that you need to do more of it. It's probably that that's not the issue. So when you sort of sift and sort through things, there are probably some things, get in touch with me. But there's probably some natural remedies that you need for your kidneys. And probably if you had a stroke or there was
yeah,
some vessel damage,
yes, there is.
the smallest capillaries and vessels that we have are in the kidneys, in the eyes. And so those could have been affected in some way, because the most interesting thing about your scan is that the very highest frequency is that kidney repair and create proper fluid balance. But I don't think it's a matter of hydration, of drinking more water. A very important thing about water, like that could be another whole discussion that we could have. The most important water is water that you get from actual fruits and vegetables, because it is the most structured and most bioavailable. So that's another conversation that we can have. And then the multi-greens is so interesting because it's saying alkalization, and alkalization will help everything in the body to work better. That's where we got when we had our little crash time come up. But so overall, have you stayed pretty stable with your heart stuff, or are things changing? Do you seem to be improving?
I've stayed pretty stable, but on occasion I have a little, they have me on 2 aspirins a day because I've had some mini, whatever you call them, TIAs or whatever they are.
Yeah, there's probably better things that you could use besides that, but I don't want to, take away from something that, you feel is helping you and keeping everything stable. But that,
what other suggestions would
Oh,
suggest?
I mean, the thing is that aspirin overall has some other things that, it's creating more gut permeability. So I don't want to recommend anything right now. I want you to be stable, but you and I could talk about it. Maybe we don't do a lot of consultations anymore because we've been so busy, but maybe we could work out something special sort of for you to do, maybe an actual consultation where we can talk a little bit more. If that's something that you would like, you can get in touch with me and talk with me about it. But I just want to look at a couple other things here that were coming up for you. Are you able to get out do you do some type of movement on a regular basis?
No, I really don't. I'm at the computer most of the time. However, I do the stationary bicycle, probably 3 times a week. Probably should do more of that.
What limits you? Is walking hard for you?
Well, we live in the country, and so the rocks, and I'm very afraid of falling down.
I totally understand that.
Yeah, because of rocks and that.
It's interesting that the heart, and I'm pretty sure you have this library because you got the upgraded originally. The heart health frequencies affirmations is something that comes up really strongly for you. That's so interesting. And it says you actually got an affirmation here. One thing we talked about in affirmational magic is that the amazing miracles of taking somebody that we work with, and instead of prescribing them anything, prescribe them words. And so imagine, like, all day long you reciting to yourself, all my vessels are clean, clear, and healthy. And that came up at the very top of all the customized libraries. We've got 1,200 of them. Came up at the very top. And then the very top of that one was, all my vessels are clean, clear, and healthy. I'm going to take a screenshot of this and send these to you and challenge you to say the 3 top affirmations at least 3 times a day. What do you think?
Very good. I'll do it.
My kidneys support the proper flow of blood nutrition. So that's another one that's very relevant for you. Let's see what the lower ones were. Toxins affecting my heart are clearing for my body. So there may have been, what kind of work, did you ever do anything that involved any type of chemicals or chemical exposure?
Not at all. No.
Okay. And you never smoked or
And
had people around you who
we
smoked?
don't smoke. No, we don't
I
smoke.
I don't even think you smoke now, but some people will tell me that when they were
No.
kids, no, you didn't have that. Okay, that's a
Right.
blessing. That's a
That,
blessing.
that was
Yeah.
against the rules in our house.
Well, not now, but I'm saying, but yeah, but when you were a kid growing up, then nobody smoked either.
No.
No.
Well, actually, my father did,
Mhm.
but my grandparents were teetotalers and no smoking and no, so my mother was not at all. So we kids never did. So
I know, but I actually was talking about secondhand, but it doesn't sound like maybe your
yeah,
father didn't smoke in the house.
yes, he did.
I was going to say, I was being gentle about it because I know at that time, probably like oh, I didn't mean to do that. Everybody smoked in the house. Like it wasn't even known, like,
Yes,
hey, maybe I shouldn't like smoke in the house. You guys,
that's right.
as you're emailing Ryan, make sure that you tell him that the search does not hold. The search always goes away. You have to keep re-entering the search. That's a really important one that we get to. So this is what we talk about in that heart class, that practitioner level, about the heart class, about the toroidal field and the vortices. Recalibrate the toroidal field, perfect the functioning orbital velocities, cleanse and clear the toroidal field. This really works on the energetics of the heart, which is a whole other way to work. Let's do one last balancing here to sort of wrap everything up. People who have sort of stuck until the end here. Let's see what our top item is. Miracles are love in action. Elaine, what do you think about that?
I agree.
Miracles are love in action. I don't even know what the second one is. I'm gonna have to figure out what that is. My kidneys support the proper fluid in that affirmation really resonates with you. I'm gonna write down the top 3 affirmations for you in a moment. All right, let's just look. Hawthorn berry. Hawthorn berry is something I'm going to send you some information about. That's a really amazing herb for the heart and for the vessels. And then it's funny, like a Sanskrit affirmation keeps coming up for you, that we did some Sanskrit libraries a long time ago. Anyway, it's interesting. Some other things that come up to balance your cholesterol, also cardiogize, which is a remedy from one of the supplement lines that we have. It's funny that all those things are coming up to basically help you around your heart. So that's really, really cool. So Elaine, I'm going to let you go here and then I'll get in touch with you and talk with you more a little bit about the results we had today. Okay.
Okay, super. And then you'll send me this.
The top affirmations that I found for you all. I'm going to send those to you. If you want me to send it to your capsule, can you put your capsule email into the chat right now? Because otherwise I won't have this information. Okay, so put it into the chat right now. All right, thank you, Elaine.
Thank you. Thank you, Ariel.
Awesome. Okay. Final chat messages. Yeah, everybody smoked in the house. It was like you had ashtrays, right? Going back decades, right? Everybody had the ashtrays in the house. They didn't know I was supposed to go outside to smoke, right? That didn't come until later. And so a lot of people had secondhand smoke. And secondhand smoke is pretty bad if you were in the house with a parent or a family member who smoked. And that did affect, to some degree. Hopefully we're, every time that you're not smoking and you're not with a smoker, your lungs are clearing themselves. So a lot of those effects can subside, but some of those chemicals could still be in your system. Okay, so we did 1 minute of balancing. Let's go ahead now and let's go ahead and recheck the aura, and then we'll just wrap everything up for the day. So let's go ahead and we'll rescan. I think I'm just going to rescan this aura today. I guess we could just look at the other one. Actually scans automatically. Let's see. Let's see what we see when we do this here. It does seem a bit long. All right, well, it's absolutely beautiful, Elaine. Looks like you're doing amazing work. You have that true desire to heal. Yes, I do see some of that sort of black around, but she's pushing out towards the edges. And look what she's actually claimed inside in that inner layer, that beautiful purple energy. I do feel like your vital force can improve significantly. So let's look at the before and after of what we're seeing here based on what we took the recording of. So let's go ahead and let's look at this. And then let's look at this one right here. So this is before. Maybe we can just we want to take the affirmations. Actually, I'll take another picture of that in a moment. So this is the before and this is the after. This is the before and this is the after. So I see improvement in vitality and vital force. I see a lot. We're coming up to those higher chakras. And still, there's a lot. We're sort of pushing to the edges, maybe the toxins and some of the blockages and things like that. So we probably would want to balance further. You know, this is a new aura function. It's going to take some time for us to sort it out and sort of figure this out, but it is very compelling. It is very interesting. I think we're going to have some good discoveries here about this particular aura function. Let's go ahead and look at this. So a lot, if you look at, I don't think I took a screenshot of this, but if you look at it and can think of it, what we just saw before was like more of a mustard color. And now a lot of that mustard is starting to clear out. So you will get good benefit from working on your liver gallbladder, I think, and working on your digestion, Elaine. Everybody, I want to thank you so much. People who stuck to the end, people who are on the live stream, I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to have some more live streams coming up and to let you know about so we can talk, have some fun talking about the libraries that people got. We didn't get to talk about Missy's genetics regenerator, so I want to have some opportunity to do that, to kind of thank you for being part of our, you know, Genius Biofeedback, Cyber Monday, Black Friday. I really appreciate it. And remember that there are courses on, you know, on sale today for 50% off. I'm in the office today, so if you actually want to just have a chat by phone and talk about some of these, I'm more than happy to do that. Or if you just want to just shoot me a chat message or an email because it's like, oh, Dr. Ariel, I think I want to do this course, but I'm not sure, then I'm happy to answer your questions. This is the best pricing, 50% off. I want to check it out. If you need installments, you can let me know. But just any of these topics that kind of catch your interest, even just start with one, because I think you'll be really happy with the information that you get. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. We'll see you next week. Be in touch and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye for now.